So the inflation rate hit 2.4 in December, and that's up from 2.2, and a lot of that had to do with groceries. It's really all about the surging beef and coffee prices that pushing up inflation, right? So it's and in the provinces there, it is Manitoba that saw the most there. Manitoba, Wab Canoe. What are you going to do?
Not good times.
And then most of that increase there is food. If you look at this chart here, the dark blue is the December one compared to the November one. So food, and we talked about this. We've been talking about it for months actually. That this is the weak spot for Canada is food inflation, food inflation, food inflation, food inflation, and it is where we're seeing this inflation happening, and also in alcoholic beverages, tobacco, and recreational cannabis. And you're going to see that even go up more come April 1, Fool's Day. They're going to raise the taxes on alcohol here
Just
in
got some sausage roll money there. Thank you again, Charles.
Canada. Thank you,
That's at
Charles.
least 2 sausage rolls. But if it's a beef sausage roll, that probably wouldn't even get you one these days, unfortunately.
And then they remember how long they told us, how many years they told us that the carbon tax had nothing to do with inflation. But lo and behold, if you lower the price of energy, it has a
Yeah,
dramatic effect. Eh?
that is damning, isn't it? When you
Yeah.
look at that, that's percentage as well. So getting on for 20% down there in April.
And you
What
just have to
madness!
remember.
And that's a lot of people have been complaining recently about the clean fuel regulations, which is that's carbon tax two, as people have called it. So we're still doing it. We're still doing this very, very strange thing of making the most basic essentials of life more expensive in a country that is undergoing a sort of crippling cost of living crisis. Just such peculiar behavior.
And at the same time, we continue to dump milk. We discard hundreds of millions, as much as 1 billion liters of milk each year, not because of food safety concerns, but because of supply management. Canadians go hungry, and we still dump milk. And this is one of the things that's holding back our trade deal as well, supply management.
Yeah, and that just think about that. Think about how much cheaper food could be, particularly these essentials like milk and things like that. How much cheaper it could be if the market was opened up. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just a fact. I mean, the studies have been done. You can think whatever you want about the wisdom of supply management, but getting rid of it and opening up the market would make staples cheaper. So it's not just milk. It's not just about wasting milk. It's other things like obviously eggs.
And then if we look at Canada leading the G7 almost, other than Japan, Canada for food inflation, 5.1.
And the Japanese, something's been going on in Japan, hasn't it? Like with their rice or something. I can't remember exactly what that is, but they had a big problem producing rice. I think they put an export ban on it or something like that. So I think the Japanese one can be explained as a bit because it's not normal in Japan to experience inflation because they don't experience anything. They're just totally stagnant, aren't they? Like stagnant with interest rates, stagnant inflation. So that's unusual for Japan, and that I think we can kind of like look at that as funny business. Whereas for Canada, that's just business as usual, really, isn't it? So I think really we are on top.
We talked about this a while ago that they're going to start laying off a bit at the Fed there. And we talked about Stats Canada there. And the 5,400 federal workers received their adjustment notices across multiple departments that scientists and researchers are now protesting on Parliament Hill. 28,000 public service job targets, 60 billion in savings. Wow, they must get paid good. Workers are being told not to compete for their own roles. Well, consultants stay. Imagine that, the consultants, eh? The consultants are the ones recommending the layoffs likely, right? We should lay some people off because we got to keep the money for the consultants.